Kia ora, from New Zealand. Just thought I'd talk about today the injustice of what is occurring not only to myself but to other people in New Zealand and all around the world who have had the audacity to speak out. Like, how dare they? New Zealand used to be known as a place of with freedom of speech. One of my ancestors, there used to be a place in Christchurch called the Square. I imagine it's still there, but I haven't been there for a while. Since the earthquake, things got a bit jumbled up. But there used to be a place called the Square, and it would be a place where people would gather and sit in the sun and eat their lunch and feed the birds and listen to random music or buskers or whatever it may be. But back in the day, this is going back 50 years or so, maybe 60 even, you were allowed and could stand on a soapbox and speak whatever you wanted to speak. And you might get a heckler from the crowd, there might be some backwards and forwards, there might be some healthy debate, but the fact is that you were peacefully allowed to stand there and speak. And if someone wanted to listen, they could all stand around and listen, and if they didn't, they just kept on walking and minding their own business. Pretty amazing, eh? Imagine that happening now. So this particular ancestor used to stand on her soapbox, and she was quite well known and photographed and things like that. There's some other things about her that I'm not quite sure about, but anyway, she could do that. Freedom of speech. It was there, it was happening. There's no way in this day and age, like myself for example, could I go and stand on a soapbox in the Square and talk about what I liked? I don't think so. I don't think so. People were so riled up, so angry, so afraid. You probably end up getting arrested. I don't know, I'm not keen to try it. The last time that people stood up and demonstrated at Wellington, the capital, was during the pandemic, and a whole bunch of them went up there and were camping and all sorts of things. It was a really good setup actually, and the government, I was quite disgusted. They refused to speak with them, they wouldn't acknowledge them. They called in a force from, I'm pretty sure they gathered a lot of them from overseas, across the ditch, and they were violent, unfair, over forceful, and they didn't care, man. I'm pretty sure that they used frequencies. They did stupid things. These are supposed to be responsible adults that are put into positions of power for our best and highest good, by the people, for the people, blah blah blah. And they were playing what was that song? It was the shark song, that stupid little shark song. They played it over and over and over and over and over again through loudspeakers that they set up, and blasted the crowd with it over and over. Like, how grown up is that sort of shit? And I'll bet the rest of the world didn't see it either. Anyway, so this is the day and age that we live in. You speak out and you are, they will attempt to pummel you into silence using whatever means possible, and they're not behaving like responsible adults, and they will resort to illegal tactics, in my opinion, illegal tactics. For example, the gangstalking campaigns, sneaking into your house and taking your things. It's all very covert and hidden and over a long period of time, and seemingly random events strung together that you can never sort of nail down unless you permanently camp out with a pencil and paper and photograph everything and record everything, So they've been doing this for a long time. They've been getting away with it. They're destroying people's lives, and they're not being called out. And if people speak about it, they're labelled, like there's even propaganda put out there about it. What do they call it? Conspiracy theorists. Well, that was a term designed by them to discredit people that spoke the truth against them. Long part of their long-term plan. But anyway, fact is, this stuff's happening. Fact is, it's a measured campaign of torture. As I say, they're taking things from your home. They will set up traps. They will try to trap you in various sorts of ways. They will try to cause accidents. And then we don't forget the frequencies. I mean, these frequencies are unhealthy. They're proven to be unhealthy. They know they're unhealthy. They know what they're doing, and they know what they want to achieve, and nobody's calling them out. They're not getting called out anywhere or been held responsible for their actions. You know, it's high time. It's high time. Anytime anyone speaks out against anything, this mob start on you. So yeah, it's pretty rank. It's pretty cowardly. And I think, you know, it's about time. More and more people start speaking about it. It becomes more obvious that it's more common than anyone ever thought. And people that haven't even put it together yet, they just think that they're getting sick, or that they're hallucinating, or that hearing voices, or however it may be presenting for them, how it's been designed for them to experience. And you know, part of it is to make you act out of attempt to make you act out of character, and so that they can turn around and say, you know, you're nuts, or you're crazy, or see what I have to put up with. I mean, it's a bit like the narcissistic model, a bit bigger. You know, I remember I was reflecting today on something, and one of the things that happened was my ex-husband, like, I'd known him a long time, since we were at primary school, and been away overseas and came back and things reignited. I didn't know at the time that the whole thing was a setup. He knew my pattern. He'd seen me, followed me, and set it up so that he knew when I was going to be in the grocery shop and approached me in there, and that was how it began. But it was all planned. And, you know, things went forward, fast forward a few years, and unbeknownst to me, he has a side piece, and he's doing things like running the battery flat in my car, so because we were living out in the country, so that I couldn't go to town, because he was going to be in town with the hoe and things, just stuff like that. Very manipulative, very sneaky, very cunning. And this particular day we had split up, and he had thrown me out because he had the next one on the monkey bars ready, and I went back to get some things, a vacuum cleaner, a dinner set and stuff like that, and I was like fucking over it by then. And his daughter was there, and she was being very provocative and intrusive, and on purpose, as she always had been. And I went out to the garage, and I was loading stuff into the back of my car, and he was following me, like he was just, is that word haranguing? Haranguing. I'm not sure what the word is, but he just wouldn't shut up. He just kept yelling at me and yelling at me and yelling at me and yelling at me. And I got out to the car, and I was loading the car up, as I say, and I smashed a plate. I was holding it there and going, are you going to shut up and speak like a normal person? Or am I going to smash this? And he was like, you know, I don't give a shit. Whatever, I can't even really remember what he was saying. I just know that that's what was happening. And so I smashed it. And I was like, oh, god damn, that felt good. You know, like wasn't out of control or anything like that. I was just like, are you going to shut up now? So I smashed another one. I ended up smashing the entire dinner set, thoroughly enjoyed every part of it, and drove off and left him with it. So knowing what I know now, and that was like one of the most liberating, freeing, most awesome things I'd ever done. However, knowing what I know now, I'm pretty sure that the daughter would have been standing there filming that, and it would have been edited to show me in a bad light, and he could put his wrist to his head and be like, woe is me, she was such a bitch, she was crazy, she did this, and this is how she carried on, and oh, it was just terrible, blah blah blah, you know, like whatever. he was terrible. He was absolutely terrible. And anyway, that's part of the narcissistic thing. They drive you to a place where you act out of character, try and film you, and use it against you. And this is a bit like this, but times 10. And, for whatever reason, maybe I know something that they don't want to come out, because they do. Maybe they stand to gain money. Maybe they've already gained money illegally through using me, and they don't want that to come out. They've got reasons to hide these things. It's not just speaking out. Well, it's a pretty good reason for them. But knowing what I know about this dirty little town and the dirty family secrets and money and things like that, I would say that's a big part of it for me. So, they want you to shut up. They'd love it if you unalived yourself. Otherwise, they'll do it slowly for you. Point is, it's illegal. I'm allowed to speak, and I bloody well will. And they have no right to impose their will upon myself or anyone else when we're not doing anything wrong. This is only to further their own ends. Like, piss off, nods. These people have got away with this long enough, in my opinion. And I would love to see people speaking out so that it stops happening to other people and other children, other people. This stuff has been hidden under the carpet for so long, and it's still happening. And this is part of my aim. I so would love for it to stop and not happen to anyone else. So I pray that, and I hope and trust that people will get strong and clear, and if they've suffered, to know that other people have suffered, and other people will continue to suffer unless we stop it somehow. And I think that speaking out about it and all of the lies and carry on that they're trying to cover up comes out, and people stop being harmed, especially children. And it only takes a couple of generations or one generation to change it. We're the generational ones. We're the curse busters. We're the ones. The buck stop here. So have a think about that. And in the meantime, fill your own cup up. Look after yourselves. Pay them no attention. They don't deserve any for their underhand bullshit. Just get along with your own beautiful self, your own beautiful life. Look after yourselves. Know that you're not alone. And look after your children, your family, your life, yourself. Be the best that you can be. As I say, fill your cup up. Alrighty. Until next time. Take care. Kia ora. Cheers.